Can I ask you something? What took you so long to respond to me?
I didn't feel like being alone. Not tonight.
So you turned to Tinder. What made you pick me?
I liked your picture. You had this sad look on your face. I felt sorry for you.
Damn.
You made a playlist? That's cute.
Don't go through my phone. So what happens tonight?
You're gonna drop me off and then you'll go home, I guess.
Oh.
Did you think we were gonna have sex?
Nah. No.
You failed to execute a turn signal back there.
Oh, my bad.
Step out of the vehicle.
Can I ask why, officer?
No, you may not. Put your hands on your head and get on the ground now.
Are you serious?
Get on the ground!
Why is he under arrest?
Get back in the car!
I am an attorney.
Jill,
I'm
just
reaching for my cell phone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optics. And today we're going to be reviewing Queen and Slim. My name is Christian, and I'm joined by Devin as always. How you doing today, buddy?
How's it going, Slim?
I'm doing pretty good, Queen.
Okay.
And before we begin our review of Queen and Slim, you can listen to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and Anchor. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Film Optics. Optics is spelled O-P-T-I-X, and that's our name across the board. So it's very easy to find us. Very, very easy. So that's nice. I really was hoping that would be the case, because sometimes it's, it's a little weird. You got to change things around on Twitter and all that stuff. So we got it. We're the first, the ones and the onlys. And as I said before, we are going to be reviewing Queen and Slim. Let me just read the synopsis here really, really quick, and then we will get into more of a non-spoiler section, and then give you guys a little bit of a warning before we go into the spoiler section. I know everyone hasn't really had a chance to see this movie yet, so we want to be respectful towards everyone. So the synopsis reads: a couple's first date takes an expected turn when a police officer pulls them over.
Expected is
that's it. That's literally the entire synopsis. It's directed by Melina Matsoukas. I believe that's her last name. That's how it looks like it's spelled. And stars Daniel Kaluuya, Jodie Turner-Smith, and
I think Kaluuya is from Full House.
Oh my God, you're right. Kaluuya. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that is right. Oh my gosh. I am all over the place today. I do apologize, everyone. And also stars Bokeem Woodbine, just to name a few. This movie was very interesting, I thought. I just want to get your thoughts really quick, Devin. Because you just saw the movie today, right?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
I think it was the first trailer that came out. It was like a really cool trailer because the music they used and some of the cuts they had throughout the trailer. So that one really drew me in because it just made it seem like a really, really cool atmosphere, and the music was great and everything.
Yeah. I would have to agree. The way that the trailer was cut, it really made it seem like it was this, grand old adventure of, these two characters who not wrongfully, excuse me. Wow. I don't even know where I'm going today. These two characters who, in self-defense, kill a cop. Cop pulls the guy over for running a stop sign and then swerving a little bit.
Yeah, I think he missed a turn signal.
Yeah, missed turn signal. So pretty much, if you've seen the first trailer for this movie, it pretty much covers the first act of the movie. So yeah, I'm trying to be more upbeat about it, because I really did I liked the movie, but not as much as everybody else. I had a lot more issues with it than I actually liked it. I guess the whole cop killer thing, or cops on the people running from on the run from the police and all that stuff. I'm sorry if I'm rambling on. We kind of saw it with Black and Blue, which I did not see, and I did not see 20 More Bridges either, but I heard it was kind of sort of the same premise. Did you see 20 More Bridges, Devin?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm definitely going to check it out, but I will not see Black and Blue because that movie looked very, very bad. And I think this is the better out of the three because they all touch.
I'd say the best comparison for this is The Hate You Give.
See, I never saw The Hate You Give. You never saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you did see it. So was it pretty much the same premise?
Yeah, it was just kind of like more raw, like more visceral, I would say.
Yeah,
this one is.
That was directed by Spike Lee, right? I think so.
I'm not sure who directed it.
I could be wrong. But let me know if I'm wrong, anyone listening out there. So this movie is, it speaks a lot of volumes.
The Hate You Give was directed by George Tillman Jr.
Oh, what am I? Oh, I'm thinking of Do the Right Thing. I'm sorry. Wow. Which is pretty much, but like, anyway, so there are a lot of movies that touch on, police brutality. We saw The Black Klansman last year. I really, really liked it. I thought it was a better story, just a more well-rounded story. And I thought that it really hit home more than Queen and Slim. But with Queen and Slim, I really like the, Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner-Smith. So
it was her debut, apparently.
Yes, it was. And she did a phenomenal job. It really made me did feel for these characters. She plays a lawyer in the film, and when Daniel's character gets pulled over, things start to go awry. A little bit of questionable, dialogue back and forth to the police officer. Nothing I would definitely say to a cop, no matter how good of a lawyer you are. But it was, as you get farther and farther in the movie, you follow them through their escape from the law. And I don't know, do you have any other like non-spoiler things to say? Because I think I'm just running out of them. I just kind of want to get into spoilers myself, but if you have anything you want to touch on non-spoiler,
it feels like Daniel Kaluuya is getting better like every movie he's in.
Yeah,
he's so good.
I agree, because I think the first debut we saw him is Get Out.
The first thing I saw him in was he was in an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, way back was he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Get Out was definitely his first movie, pretty much.
Yeah, that we know of, because I mean, there might have been filmographies. A lot of these actors still do plays on Broadway or
yeah, especially because he's British.
Yeah, he is British. The Brits are taking over, man. But damn, are they good?
He didn't sound British in this movie.
Yeah, he did, because I mean, I didn't know he was British at all. When I first saw Get Out, I was like, oh, okay, where'd this guy come from? And then I saw him speaking in an interview. I'm like, oh wow, I had no clue he was British. I didn't know that Christian Bale was Welsh. I had no clue. Yeah. No clue. They can hide their accents very, very well, but it's so hard for Americans to hide ours in, especially for a English or British accent. I feel like it's more difficult for us to copy their accent over ours. But yeah, between both of these, they are they had great chemistry together. So
yeah, I also thought it was cool that it was set in Cleveland. At least the first part of it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
It wasn't the best representation for our city, but it was cool to see some of the areas and hear them talk about it.
Yeah, close enough. But did you want to get into spoilers really quick here? Or did you have anything else to say before we move on?
Yeah.
All right. So everyone, we're going to be going into our spoiler section here. This is your third and final warning. So let's just head straight in. All right. So
I think
get caught at the end.
Well, I was gonna say for probably like the first half, maybe like 60% of the movie, I was really into it. Like I was following along. It was kind of a really cool event, not really cool, but like really interesting adventure, because obviously there's a lot of stakes and a lot of tension because they can't get caught. So I was like really into it, but then a certain part, like 50 or 60% in, it just kind of goes downhill.
Oh wait, are you talking, because we're in spoilers now, so you can say it out. Are you talking about Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really killed things for me a little bit.
Yeah, I did not like that representation, and I was actually listening to Cinemania World's review of it, and Dwayne had a special guest on. I think his name is Colby. His podcast is called Colby Told Me, and he had said, I believe during that time, even before then, when Daniel killed the cop, like majority of the people in the theater were black, and they were like cheering, and he did not like that at all. And I thought about it, and I was like, okay, no one cheered in my theater, but I would be annoyed about that too, because that's not what this movie was trying to say, that hey, it's okay to kill cops. And especially when Junior, and the cop was black too, and he's like, hey man, he's like, just go home. He's like, you have no business being here, just, you know, we're trying to get people off the streets. And then the kid just pulls out a gun, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. And then they never even revisit that after that part.
Yeah, like they talk about it.
They
like,
mention it once, like, oh, we were just with him, but then that's it.
And they're like, oh yeah, you have kids out here thinking it's okay to kill cops. And I'm like, that's kind of, at first I thought that that's what the movie was trying to convey, that hey, like, you know, it's okay to kill like dirty cops, whatever you want to call them, but they are definitely in the minority. And it's more of, I mean, during the very beginning of the movie with I'm just gonna call her Queen because I don't really feel like saying her full name. When Queen, even though they never refer to themselves as that in the movie, when they get pulled over and Queen says like, oh, you know, like shoot first and ask questions later. I was like, there was definitely a lot of questionable things. Like, why would you say that to a cop, or why would you do that?
Well, I don't really think it matters anything that they said. It ended up in a way where the cop looked bad. Yeah,
it did. And I guess I just have more of an issue with when it comes to movies like this. It's more of, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I guess that's just not something I would have said to a cop. And, you know, with her being such a good lawyer as she is, I mean, she got her uncle out of prison for killing her own mom. And I was like, okay, if you're that good of a lawyer, and they were saying this on Cinemania World podcast as well, that if you're that good of a lawyer, then why are you running? But, you know, it is more of a spur of the moment, you know, kind of, you know, things get heated, and then it's like, oh my God, what did we do? But then it's like,
what do you think the outcome would have been though if they didn't run?
That is a good. It probably would have ended the same. I do not know. That is a very good question, because since we know that they died towards the end anyway, I really don't know. I don't even have an answer for that, because
obviously there's the dash cam footage, but I don't, who knows if they could pick up this sound or anything.
Sound, yeah. And then obviously like the body cam, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that is a very good question, and I
think that's part of the movie though, that they felt so hopeless that they felt that the only thing they could do is run, because they felt like they weren't safe in their own government and their own police.
That is true. That is very true. And then the first cop that they come across after they kill the initial one, the previous one,
the sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff from like Kentucky. They just like leave him in a trunk, and then you never hear from him again. I'm like, wait, what? Like, is he taking
I wasn't really expecting anything.
I wasn't, but I was like, he did seem kind of like a guy who was like, because, you know, Daniel's character, he was more of like, you know, I just want to tell them and get this over with, and she's like, no, we have to run. But it did make for a really great love story, and that's what I really appreciated it. And, you know, between Queen's character, you know, she was very cut off from a lot of people, and even during the beginning of the movie when when Daniel's like, you know, he's like, I send you a very well crafted text message on you know, on Tinder, and, you know, she's like, oh, I just didn't feel like being alone tonight. And, you know, they're sitting in the diner, and then one thing goes to another, and, you know, they learn to understand each other a little bit more. And, you know, especially a situation like that definitely would create a bond as strong as this between these two characters, no matter what the circumstances is, because obviously the stakes are very, very high. And yeah, I mean, I did like it. Like I said, I just didn't like it as much as others. It was definitely, I guess I wouldn't say one of the weakest films I've seen this year, because I was really looking forward to it. I would say it's more in the middle for me.
One of the bigger issues I had was just the decision making from the characters, which I understand that they're probably they're just normal people, so they're not criminal masterminds. So
Right.
obviously, they're not going to do everything perfect. But especially Slim, like handing this gun to the gas station guy. I was like, what? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then calling his dad too. I was like, oh come on.
That
Like,
was literally
that's too stupid.
Yeah, and I was like, dude,
They make him look like an idiot.
Yeah, but they make him they do, but like I feel like it's kind of redeemable. Well, at least because they kind of did it backwards because he had more. I feel like he had more sense in the beginning of the movie where he's like, you know,
well,
like
in the beginning is when he gave his gun to the gas station guy.
okay, so before that, before he handed his gun over, because I would not have done that at all. You know, when he's saying, you know, he's like, oh, he's like, you know, we have a sheriff, we have a cop who will help us, and I mean, he might have in a way, but again, we don't know because he just got left in the trunk. But after that, it was just more of a just kind of like more mistake after mistake. And he's like, oh, I got to call home. I'm like, bro, they're gonna be man, any call coming into that house.
If you've ever watched a movie ever, you'd know exactly what they're doing.
And this is like set in modern times too, or like
and the whole ditching the phones thing. Like obviously you have to ditch the phones.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, let's ditch the phones. Oh, let me call my dad really quick. I was like, what? But
it was cool to see the payoff though of his dad hanging up just in time. That was
cool. That was cool. I wonder if he would have gotten arrested for that.
It seemed like he was in trouble, but at the end they showed him not arrested. So
I guess not. And I'm not sure if because I don't think he really ever mentioned his mom. But I really liked Queen's uncle. He was really cool.
The pimp.
Yeah, the pimp.
The clothing choices were very entertaining.
Yeah, they really were. You know,
just classic pimp material.
He was looking for his rings. He's putting on his nice backhands. He's missing one. He's like, "Where's my ring? Where's my ring?" She's like, "I don't know where your ring is." And you know, everything just went downhill from there. But I really did like how, you know, even though like they did, and I like how the film didn't paint him as a bad guy, and it must have been very tough to still maintain a relationship with your uncle or any family member that killed your own mother in a, I guess you could say, a violent rage. So and I was like, man, she must be a really good lawyer. Like I said, like to get her own uncle off for murder. And I was like, if you're so good, let's see here.
Yeah. And then, like I said, the first half I really liked, but in the second half things starting to kind of fall apart. I didn't like the part where they're like sitting outside of the car while it's driving. Like I said in the Honey Boy review, that's kind of overdone in these indie type movies.
Oh yeah, kind of like the voiceover when they're like driving, like
no, like when they like hanging out of the car and like.
Oh yeah. She's like, oh, you should try it. Let's switch seats, and he's like, no, I'm good. And she's like, try it.
Those type of scenes just feel like they're so overdone. It just shows like, oh, the characters feel free now and they have
freedom until they're dead.
Yeah,
pretty much. But no, yeah, I agree there. You know, it does get a little old. I mean, I always enjoy seeing it, but I do agree. It is a bit overdone from time to time. So I'm trying. Okay, so
and then they kept bringing back to the theme of legacy, which is the theme that they were trying to push forward the whole time. And then when it gets to the end and they go back to the legacy thing, it just feels like they've done it too many times.
Yeah, they kept talking. It kind of lost its weight towards the end. I mean, especially literally as she was saying, she was like, "Can I be your legacy?" Towards the very end, you know, where they're like holding hands. I'm like, okay, I probably would like actually put my hands up now, because they will shoot you. And yeah, she got freaking sniped. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't know why that cop just out of nowhere was a little trigger happy and just like, psh, and then, you know, clips her right in the freaking shoulder. He's like, can I be your legacy? You already are. Bam! I was like, whoa! That definitely
that was a good startle.
Yeah, it was a nice little start. I was not expecting that at all. But like throughout the entire movie, even towards the second half, like as you were saying, you know, the whole Junior thing, that was kind of annoying, and it was like, why is this even here?
Yeah, and overall, and like I said, I really like the first half. I thought the dialogue was really sharp and clever in the first half.
Yeah.
Then the second half it kind of got a little cheesy.
I did not. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I did not like the fact when they finally get to Georgia with that white couple, and at first there's a little conflict there, but they come to an agreement. But when they're trying to sneak out, she jumps out of the Queen jumps out of the window and dislocates her shoulder. They pop it back in, and then they think all the cops are gone, but they're still there. And the one black cop hears a noise, and he's talking to the other white cop, and he goes.
Yeah, that scene felt very forced.
I didn't like the fact that they're starting up the car, the garage door comes up, and the cop's standing right there, and they're just like, oh crap, and he's like, oh, you guys can go. I was like, what? I was like, oh my gosh.
It's like they made it seem like he made that decision because his partner was disrespecting him.
Yeah.
Was that really the reason he did that?
I don't know, man. And that's one thing I just didn't like. I kind of like the bar scene when, they want to go dancing and let loose a little bit. And then the one lady's like, oh, you're safe here. I'm like, okay, that makes more sense than I don't know. I feel like it was just more of oh, we're all black. I understand where you're coming from, so I'm just gonna let you go. And I was just like, but I was also thinking maybe he did in spite of his, of his partner.
Yeah, that's what they made it look like because of the scene. It just didn't feel normal.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, you guys go. I was like, bro, what are you? Oh my god. I'm like, it would have been more of a situation.
It's like they made that cop realize that there's bad cops 2 minutes before they let them go because of his partner.
Right.
He either knows there's bad cops or he doesn't. You don't have to show the partner being a dick. Influence his decision.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's just I don't know. It just felt like all the tension was just gone as soon as he just lets them go. I'm like, I actually wanted to see how they were going to escape a different way instead of just taking the easy way out. Because obviously, your enemy, whoever is against you, if they just let you go by, then that kind of just takes away all the tension. And it's like, oh, you guys can just go. And he's like, oh, you're right. It was just a deer. And he's like, oh, told you. That didn't bug me as much as Junior just literally shooting that dude right in the face.
Yeah, and that was like during their very intense sex scene too.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's during, the climax. At the same time.
Dude, they were going at it. I was like, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, that's how I got the rated R rating. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, no, can we show this? It's like, we're trying to push for a PG-13 rating here, but I don't think it's gonna fly. I don't think it's gonna fly at all. Oh well.
Yeah, that's it. I think my favorite part was when they took that picture. That was such a badass picture.
Yeah,
just the way they were posing, it just looked so cool. It was the perfect picture taken. And I like their sentiment about taking pictures and having that represent
proving
their life.
Having proof that you were actually here.
Yeah,
that's something I really liked as well. It speaks a lot of volumes. It really does, and it touches on a lot of subject matters that's going on in America today, things we have already known for a while, and it just I thought the movie was fine. Like I said, I don't really have too much else to say about it. Do you?
I think that's it.
All right. So out of 100 Quinn and Slims, what would you give this rating?
I'll go with a solid 75 Slims.
75 Slims? Yeah. Honestly, I would have to agree with you on that one.
It was good, but it had a lot of room to improve.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would definitely give it a 75 as well. It was cool. Pretty much, if you watched the first trailer, you pretty much watched the entire first act already, because it was literally shot for shot. The first scene was them sitting in the diner.
That kind of makes sense because that's what What's one of the main things that drew me in?
Yeah.
It was from that trailer because it made it more so of a love story.
That is true. And yeah, at the end of the day, this was a tragic love story.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got shot hell up. I was like, all right, did you have to like shoot him that many times though? Like kind of like once or twice. Would have went down. Once in the kneecap, kind of maybe like once in the arm. He would have went down. But
And then there's a couple extra endings after that too.
yeah, I guess you could say more of the epilogues of it. When they're they have their faces on the t-shirts and they put up that big mural of them and how they're a big icon.
I thought that was pretty cool just because how cool that picture is.
Yeah. And one last thing, really quick. I really like, and I just did not like this ending where like, how did they end up, when they went to Florida and they end up with that guy who essentially was bribed to rat them out. And it's like, the guy sitting in the plane, it's like, was he in on it too? We never really saw his face.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy was.
Yeah. But I'm just like, I had a feeling they were going to catch up with them at some point. I was like, watch. I'm like,
so are they saying that the guy with the gold teeth ratted them out at the end?
I think so, because he was rolling in all that dough. I'm like,
who would have given him the money though?
Yeah. There's no way it was the cops. Maybe.
No.
Private investigators? I don't know. Some odd stuff, man. Some very, very odd stuff.
And then he just drives away because he would have had to set him up because he just drove away. Well, he didn't get in any trouble.
I wonder when the setup started though. Did it start when they were in Georgia with the with the white family, or was it prior?
Who knows? No more issues that we're discovering.
Oh well, it is what it is. But anyway, I implore everyone to go watch this film. I think everyone should see this at least once and, form your own opinions about it. And you can, we're just going to wrap up here really quick because we got a few more podcasts to do. So you can listen to us here on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor. And you can at Film Optics, and Optics is spelled OPTIX. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well at Film Optics. And I'm Christian again, and that was Devin. As always, Devin, thank you for coming on and reviewing these. We're pretty much the only two people doing this stuff. So I think we're going to have a little bit of more fun next week when we're going to be recap. It's going to be like a recap review of Star Wars episode 7 and 8, Force Awakens and Last Jedi. We're going to be having some special guests over from the Cinemania world. So keep lookout for that. And also really quick, we are doing another giveaway. As I've mentioned in our previous Honey Boy review, we're going to be doing a digital code giveaway for the entire trilogy of Matt Reeves's Planet of the Apes series. So that will start on December 9th, and make sure to check out Instagram and especially Twitter for those updates there. Give us a follow so we'll let you know when that starts, and your chance to win 3 great movies, an entire trilogy, because I'm that nice of a person.
Yeah.
And I already own them on Blu-ray, so why not? But I believe that does it for today, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.